Well, Canada's Foreign Minister, Chrystia Freeland, right now is at the U.S. Trade Rep's office. She's trying to bridge the divide that has kept Canada out of a new NAFTA deal thus far. Canada's top union head actually just came out and said that NAFTA negotiators have spent much of the day talking about agricultural issues. Meanwhile, you've got President Trump in a news conference with the Polish president. That was yesterday. He defended the additional tariffs on $200 billion in Chinese goods. Listen.
We are the piggy bank to the world. We've been ripped off by China. We've been ripped off by, excuse me, Mr. President, the European Union, of which you're a part of. We've been ripped off by everybody. And I want to protect the American worker, the American farmer, the ranchers, the companies.
Well, joining us now to react, Senior Vice President of the U.S.-China Business Council, Erin Ennis. Her firm represents many U.S. multinationals that do business in China. Erin, I was really looking forward to this today to speak with you. First, just your reaction. Are we the piggy bank of the world right now?
Hey, I mean, the United States is the piggy bank to the world, and we are gaining significant amounts of interest. Our companies are global leaders. They're making profits in markets around the world. It's contributing to a good cost of living in the United States, and we are benefiting from stability around the world as a consequence.
I think the president, though, would take a different point of view on that. His point of view is that the Chinese have been abusing us as a nation and abusing our businesses, stealing our intellectual property, these forced marriages between, Chinese companies and American companies, basically giving them U.S.-developed technology, and that, he's tired of it. He's tired of he wants fair trade, not free trade. I mean, what do you say to the president's point of view on this?
There is no denying that the relationship that we have with the Chinese isn't perfect, and we've got companies who will tell you all of the problems that they've got. But the bottom line is that American companies that do business in China are profitable, they are global leaders, and the issues that they've got in the market are ones that have solutions, and that's where companies want to see the action.
Okay, so let's talk about, for instance, one of your members is Walmart, right? Okay, so a lot of the retail industry, the Retail Association, in fact, has come out against the tariffs. You had that big public comment period that went, 45 hours of comments. The retail industry is saying tariffs will hurt us. The 200 billion tariffs, another 267 potentially will hurt us. What does Walmart say to this?
I can't speak for Walmart. What I can tell you about our members in general is that 73% of them tell us that the trade tensions alone are already impacting their businesses. That's not just because of tariffs. It's also because they're losing sales because the cost of their goods going into other markets are more expensive, and they're more expensive in the China market. So they're losing out not only market share in the United States because of increased costs, but market share around the world.
Well, let's talk about that, because I mentioned that 45 hours of testimony, and, I think you had 300 plus individuals that wanted to comment to Lighthizer and have their voices heard, and most of it was, please don't go through with this. Were you a part of that process?
We didn't appear at that hearing, but we did submit testimony, and I appeared twice before 2 of the other hearings.
What would you say to the president right now if you did have his ear? Maybe you would through one of somebody in the administration, maybe. What would you say to him right now about these tariffs? If you're the voice of a company, what do you say to him?
I think the message the president needs to hear is the fact that he has gotten the attention of the Chinese. The first $50 billion of tariffs, while we disagreed with it, clearly have focused the Chinese attention that something needs to be done. Now is the time to take advantage of that leverage that's been created and start talking about the specific solutions to the problems rather than escalating with more tariffs.
Do you think that the Chinese are ready to come to the negotiating table in a fair way? Because their initial reaction this week so far is to retaliate with $60 billion in tariffs of their own.
Yeah, I don't know that you should view the retaliation as an indication that they aren't ready to talk. They've said they're ready to talk, and frankly, we won't know the quality of what they're willing to offer until we start talking. That's why it's important to start seeing what they want to do and whether it actually meets the needs that we have.
Well, hopefully we are not as far apart as we seem right now. Hopefully we can get some meaningful discussions going, because it is going to hurt many Americans' businesses and really the consumer at the end of the day. Erin Ennis, thank you for being here. Great voice on this. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.